Or you put in too much sugar.
You said you wanted 3. What, was that too much?
That's all right. That's all right.
Here, hold on. Okay. Yeah, hi, sorry, you can't come in here. You're gonna have to back up, go around the side to the other gate.
That's good. Is he here yet? I'd like to get rolling on this soon, if we can.
Yeah, I'll check with the guards.
All right, how do I look? Come here, quick.
Oh, fix that.
What?
Fix that.
Okay, what do you call him? When you see him, what do you call him? What do you say?
No,
I don't, Mr. Make a phone call.
Right?
We'll find out.
Okay, yes, okay,
Right.
you're right. We'll do that. Frank, Lillian. Yeah, how do we address this person?
Like a fool.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit
What?
nervous. I'm a little nervous. Thank you,
Hurry
thank you,
up.
Frank.
All right, don't be angry with him. Just what is it?
It's Mr. It's just
All
Mr.
right, we'll just call him Mr.
Sorry, you're gonna have to go around. Hi, yeah. Hi. Oh, get the cones.
Yeah.
Take a left, and then a right, and then another left, and follow the wall along to the right. Come on.
Fantastic.
We're around VIPs all the time. And listen.
Excuse me, I
listen.
know, but somebody needs to be in charge, okay? And I think that the studio has put me in charge because I know what I'm doing and I know how to make it happen.
Okay.
All right, so
be
let's...
in charge. Be in charge. Don't scream like a teenager.
I don't
when
believe...
he gets here.
I won't. I've never done that.
Oh.
You've never seen me do that. Don't even go there with me.
Yeah.
Okay?
You say never. Try always.
Oh, please.
always.
All right, you're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself because, you know, your mind is completely off track here. My name is Bernice. We are honored to have you with us.
I'm honored to be here, Bernice.
Oh, my grandmother Bertha, she won't believe this. Would you sign something for her?
I don't sign things, Bernice, but give your grandmother my best wishes.
Hi, Mr. Tracy. I just wanted to let you know that
Mr. Maltin's waiting for you.
Where does your grandmother live, Bernice?
Waukegan, Illinois.
Waukegan, I know it well.
Something to drink, Mr. Tracy?
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, how are you, Detective Tracy?
I'm fine. Call me Dick, huh?
I'll try.
Shall I sit here?
Please do, yes. Maybe offer you something to drink?
I don't drink, Mr. Maltin. It might confuse me. No makeup for me, thank you.
Well, I'm not trying to flatter you, but you don't need any. You look just wonderful.
Pomegranates.
Pomegranates?
Pomegranates. Pretty good for my age, huh?
Well, I would say so. Do you mind if I ask what your age is?
I don't mind if you ask, but that doesn't mean I have to tell you.
Well, I mean, you're very gracious, but I didn't mean to be impertinent.
I'm going to be 107 in July. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
107?
107.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have some secret you can share with everybody?
SP. Small portions, and exercise, and of course pomegranate. Once in a while, I'll have a blueberry. Nobody ever went wrong with our friend the blueberry. Shall we begin?
Yes. Can we take your hat and coat?
I don't take off my hat and coat. Can we begin?
I think so. Frank, are we ready?
Yeah.
Must be tough living in his shadow, so to speak.
Now, that man has to be the most famous officer of the law in the United States since 1931. The movies, the radio shows, they don't even begin to tell you. You don't even know what that man has been through.
Listen, I don't know you well, but my instincts tell me that he's very fortunate to have you.
You're very kind. Thank you.
So how long do you and Mr. Tracy intend to stay in town?
Okay, Leonard, we're ready. Stand by. 5, 4, 3, 2, you're on.
Dick Tracy was introduced in 1931, a time when most Americans read at least one newspaper every day. And the comics page attracted enormous audiences, both young and old. But Chester Gould's creation attained a success few other strips could rival.
Dick Tracy.
Gould wanted to call his hero Plainclothes Tracy, but was persuaded to adopt the first name Dick, play on words since that was the popular slang for detective in those days. The serialized Dick Tracy stories built a loyal following, in part because they were unlike anything else on the comics page. He became an icon of American popular culture and a true multimedia star. Decades before Law and Order or even Dragnet, Gould offered his audience a vivid look at crime fighting from a policeman's point of view. During the Prohibition era, Chicago was a hotbed of criminal activity, and Gould had plenty of inspiration. It's also been said that he based his character, in part, on Eliot Ness, the fabled government agent who targeted Al Capone and organized crime. Tracy soon headlined his own radio show, which ran on and off for many years.
And now, Dick Tracy.
This is Dick Tracy on the case of the man without a head. Stand by for action.
Let's go, men.
And in 1937, he made his screen debut, a Saturday matinee serial produced by Republic Pictures. Republic transformed him from a cop to a G-man and introduced an incongruous element of science fiction to the storytelling.
This little machine is only a model of the big one which we have, the one we shall use to destroy the Bay Bridge. What's that Bay?
To star in them, Republic hired a bit player named Ralph Byrd, who bore a striking resemblance to the square-jawed hero of the comic strip. And Byrd became indelibly identified with Tracy for the rest of his life. These chapter plays are expertly crafted and packed with action. William Whitney, who worked as a film editor on the first serial, graduated to the director's chair by the second, and was teamed with John English. These hard-working colleagues knew how to shoot and stage the kind of thrills that kept kids coming back to their local theater every Saturday to see just how each cliffhanger ending would be resolved. Then in the 1940s, RKO made 4 Grade B feature films featuring Tracy, and they cast character actor Morgan Conway as the wily police detective. Now, Conway didn't especially look the part, as Ralph Byrd did, but he brought authority to his performance.
I gotta get to my mother.
I've got to find out who robbed that payroll truck. Who are you shielding, Johnny?
I gotta get out of here.
Who held up the truck?
Flip Gordon.
Then, after 2 pictures, RKO decided to hire the tried-and-true Ralph Byrd. Unlike the Republic serials, these fast-paced, film noir-style features utilize some of the familiar characters from the comic strip, like Tracy's sidekick, Pat Patton, loyal sweetheart, Tess Trueheart, his boss, Chief Brandon, and ham actor Vitamin Flintheart. Dick's adopted son, Junior, had already been featured in the serials and was a stalwart in these movies as well. The RKO pictures also echoed Chester Gould's flair for creating colorful villains, though they chose not to use any of his already famous creations, inventing their own instead. Splitface, Cue Ball, The Claw, and Gruesome, the latter memorably played by Boris Karloff. A decade later, the UPA Animation Studio turned out a popular series of animated cartoons for TV that bore little resemblance to Chester Gould's comic strip, but still introduced the character to a new generation of kids. According to Tracy expert Max Allen Collins, who took over writing the daily comic strip in the 1970s, Chester Gould regretted that his famous crime fighter never headlined a top-drawer Hollywood movie. But you have to understand, back in the 1930s and 40s, Hollywood regarded comic strip heroes as strictly kid stuff, suitable only for B-movies and serials. In the late 60s, Ray McDonnell starred in a pilot for a live-action television series. The producers were hoping to capitalize on the great success of the Batman show, but Tracy never made it to the air. Warren Beatty put Dick Tracy into the main arena again with a lavish, big-budget movie intended for adults as well as kids.
You know, Tracy, for a tough guy, you do a lot of pansy things.
Is that right? You know, it's legal for me to take you down to the station and sweat it out of you under the lights.
I sweat a lot better in the dark.
So, right now, we have a singular and unique event to present to you. Giving his first television interview ever, we have with us, in person, the most famous officer of the law in American history. I'm speaking of Detective Emeritus Dick Tracy. Detective Tracy, we're so pleased to have you here today.
Thank you. Call me Dick.
I'm going to try to get used to that. Okay, Dick. And I hope you call me Leonard. Dick, you've been the subject of so many films. We'll even call them biopics, because they really are about your life and your adventures, if you will. Ralph Byrd played you. Morgan Conway played you. And of course, Warren Beatty played you. Wondering, which of these films you think came closest to capturing the essence of the real you?
Well, are you asking me to pick a favorite?
I guess I am asking you that. Ralph Byrd, Morgan Conway, Warren Beatty.
Well, to be quite fair, Mr. Maltin, I don't know that it's right to pick favorites. I would say, however, that Ralph Byrd did have a wonderful way about him. He played me a number of times, and I felt always with a very high level of integrity. You know, you believed him. You could believe that Ralph Byrd's mission was to protect and to defend. You know, he was somebody you could trust.
Hello? Dick Tracy speaking. Whoever is responsible for those spider marks is the man we want. And I'm asking for full assignment to the case. Go to it, Dick.
Junior, we're not out of the woods yet.
Well, I'm not scared now that you're here.
Who was it called you, Lily?
He didn't take the trouble to introduce himself.
Who was it?
I swear, Tracy, I don't...
Look, Lily, you're in enough trouble without shielding a murderer. Who was it?
There are no rules in the game of justice versus crime. Your training is just beginning. Now it's up to you. Work hard, train hard. Because when you're full-fledged agents, you'll have to fight hard. Go to it. Good luck.
He was wonderful. But Morgan Conway was also a remarkably good actor, and I think a very impressively handsome man. You know, he was one of the founding members of the Screen Actors Guild, you know, and I always felt that Morgan Conway seemed the kind of man that one could turn to in a pinch.
Tracy speaking. The killer in the diamond case has just been identified. Broadcast this description immediately.
Miss Stanley, this is Detective Tracy and Detective Patton.
Split face. The same handwriting and the same words misspelled. Thanks ever so much, Professor. You've helped me more than you realize. Priceless had $2,000 in his clothes when we found him. He was probably at the Dripping Dagger dickering for those diamonds. Sure adds up. We're going fast, and there's nothing anybody can do. Who is Splitface? Talk, Professor. Who is he? Why did he want to kill you?
Frankly, I felt quite flattered to be played by Morgan Conway.
And Warren Beatty?
Beatty was fine. He was no Ralph Byrd, I mean, or Morgan Conway for that matter. But I will say that the man he looks surprisingly like me.
Dick Tracy. Calling Dick Tracy.
Bring the kid some ice cream. Come in, Sam.
Southside warehouse on the river, Tracy. Something's going on. You better get down here.
I'm on my way.
Walnuts. Walnuts? Tracy, there is a widow to whom a few words need to be said in bereavement.
Pat, bring in Flat Top and Itchy. Sam, get these fingerprinted.
Flat Top and Itchy, for what?
I want to find Lips Manless fast.
Hey, not so fast, copper. You
dumb dick. I called you here because I want to know if you're ready to testify.
Go, Sam, get him!
The Warren Beatty movie, to tell you the truth, I think that the scenery is a little phony, you know? Now, whether that was intentional or not, I really couldn't say, but I don't know why he wouldn't have wanted it to look real, like the Ralph Byrd movies. You know, they have more of a sense of the real danger that an officer of the law comes up against, you know? This is no picnic, Mr. Maltin, as I'm sure you know, and I believe that Ralph Byrd and William Whitney, they knew full well that it was important to convey the fact crime does not pay. That movie of Beatty's, it gave you a feeling you were in some sort of musical comedy, you know. In fact, there were songs in it actually written for the movie by Sidney Sondheim, who's a very well-respected Broadway producer, very, very well-respected, even though I do find some of his songs not the easiest to hum, but he's highly thought of in the theater world.
Count your blessings.
Count your blessings.
1, 2, 3. I just hate keeping score.
I hate it. Keep score. Let's show it. Move it. Touch it. Touch it. I want it. Touch it. Grab it.
Songs it's more.
More. Let's go.
But the picture that Beatty made had a lot of color.
Each possession you possess helps your spirits to soar. That's what's soothing about excess. Something's better than nothing, yes, but nothing's better than more, except more.
You know, he not only starred in the movie, playing you, he directed it, he produced it, and he even wrote some of it.
Well, he certainly doesn't seem to have a low opinion of himself, if you know what I mean. But I don't mind that, and I will say that physically, the man looks surprisingly like me. I mean, surprisingly. But how similar we are to one another, that's a horse of another color. As you know, he's kind of public about running around being what I would call a bit of a knee-jerk liberal, you know, and that's something I don't have a tremendous amount of patience for. I'm a conservative, you know. However, I've never gotten to know the man, so I don't want to seem judgmental, okay?
No, of course not. Something I've always wanted to ask you.
Sure.
Have you ever had misgivings about being transformed into a comic strip character? And why did you say yes in the first place to having that done?
Gould the man, the man himself, Chester Gould. I trusted him to stay true to my character, and he did it. You know, I always thought that the most important thing was to get the message out to young people that crime does not pay.
Mm-hmm. Now, that Chester Gould comic strip originated in 1931, the depths of the Depression.
Yeah.
And people pretty much agreed that it revolutionized the comics because at that time they were called the funny pages, the funny papers.
Right.
But this wasn't a funny strip. This was not the Katzenjammer Kids or Mutt and Jeff. It was taking material that you would read on the front page and moving it to the comics page.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, there were some pretty rough characters that the people needed to be defended from in those days. This is at the height of the crime wave of the Great Depression. You know, people like Al Capone or Babyface Nelson or Bonnie and Clyde, Pretty Boy Floyd. Chester Gould went after this type of person when he created Big Boy Caprice, who everybody knew was Al Capone, or Prune Face, or Flat Top. I think probably it was necessary to have some real-life figures that could be made a little more heroic than they might have deserved to have been, and I'm quite proud to have contributed to it in some small way.
I understand. Do you remember a radio broadcast that was done for the armed forces during World War II that actually poked fun at you a little bit, called Dick Tracy in B-flat?
Dick Tracy in B-flat, or, for goodness sakes, isn't he ever going to marry Tess Trueheart?
It had such a wonderful cast. Bing Crosby, Bob Hope, Judy Garland, Frank Sinatra, Jimmy Durante.
I do remember that. I thought it was wonderful. It was the kind of thing that you were really proud of, that this could give the troops a good laugh when they really needed it, because things were tough at that point. Things were tough.
Dick Tracy! Hooray! Okay, Dick Tracy is on the job, and all I can say is that whoever held up the First National Bank better get out of town.
You guessed it, Tracy. I'm Flat Top.
Flat Top? How did you ever get a flat top on that egg-shaped head of yours?
Please, please, Flat Top, let me go. These ropes are pressing against my flesh.
Never mind that, Shaky. You're going on a long, long trip, a one-way trip. And there's bad news at the end of it.
Just because your head looks like a crystal ball, won't be telling fortunes.
No, I remember that with great, great affection.
Well, frankly, Dick, we were surprised that you were willing to come here and do this interview. You've been kind of reclusive. You've dodged the spotlight all these years, and I have to ask you, what made you say yes to this television interview after 77 years of fame?
I felt I really had no choice but to come and be a part of it if you wanted me to. And let's face it, I wouldn't have had much fame at all if it hadn't been for Chester Gould, who just fictionalized so much of what I did. And by the way, in terms of fame, let us not forget Mr. Sherlock Holmes, huh? Mr. Sherlock Holmes was, I'm assured, fictionalized by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, but if anything, I would say Sherlock Holmes is more famous than I am. Of course, he's not an American.
Yes, absolutely. But Sherlock Holmes, as you say, was a fictional character. You're here doing a real television interview.
It's a sign of the times, isn't it?
How do you mean?
You know, it's a far cry from when I invented the two-way wristwatch radio. I mean, who would have predicted that all of this information would be flying around the way it does on screens, you know? I mean, now we're looking at movies on our wristwatches. So it's really a sign of the times. The newspapers are declining. There are hundreds and hundreds of television channels. Everybody's turning to the computer and the web for their information. You know, anybody can say anything they want on the web, and I don't know, soon it'll be impossible to know where to turn for the truth.
I understand. Speaking of the truth, in the movies made about you, what do you think veered most from the reality of your life?
Well, I think you'd have to say the stuff about what might be called my family life. You know, I guess it's fair to say that my life has always been a sort of a pull between love and duty.
I'm sorry. Will you take Junior home? Oh, Chief, please explain to Tess. Tell her I'll see her later. Sorry, honey. Save me some cake.
Sorry, Tess. Come on, Pat.
But we had a date for dinner.
I'm having mine with the professor.
Sorry.
Amazing, Tracy. Come on.
Tracy, when you play in the street, it's part of the game. I know that. Just don't ask me to like it.
Tess Trueheart has always been a vital part of my work, but I don't want to say too much about Tess out of respect for her privacy. You know, Junior, the boy that I adopted so many years ago, in fact, his name is Dick Tracy Jr. You know, he's going to be 77 years old in March.
Really?
Yes.
You're Dick Tracy, aren't you?
Yes?
I'm just an orphan. But someday I'm going to be a G-man, too.
Well, now's a good time to start. Come on.
Good morning, Dick.
Hello, Junior.
Nobody's coming around here without me knowing it.
Well, good work, Junior.
Are you there, Tracy?
Come on down, Junior.
You got a name?
Kid.
Kid?
Gould was very accurate in making sure that I was depicted as someone who was always true to my my marital vows.
Say, how would you like a lifetime job showing Junior what to read?
Why, Dick Tracy proposing so early in the morning.
Why don't you marry him so he can stop proposing?
Just a minute, young fella. I can speak for myself.
Also, I felt that the comic strip and the movies were more than generous in crediting me with incorporating up-to-the-minute police procedures. I must say, there were many who thought I was quite responsible for a lot of advances in scientific technology. You know, Dr. Cleto Brunetti. Oh, how well I remember Cleto Brunetti. He was the chief of the advanced engineering section of the National Bureau of Standards. And he and I worked together in developing the wristwatch radio in 1947, it was. And you know, Chester Gould knew that I had a lot of proficiency in ballistics and in the new technologies and related sciences, and he knew that I had really studied criminal behavior.
The clue is the G. The letter G is new. Was replaced from a different type model. T into something something. Whenever there's a T in a license plate number, it is...
truck.
You're right, Pat.
What do you think, Mumbles?
Big boy did it. Big boy did it. Big boy did it. Big boy did it.
You know, J. Edgar Hoover wanted to do a comic strip about me with the FBI. And it was called War on Crime. And, you know, J. Edgar Hoover was a wonderful man. He was quite a conservative. And I'll tell you someone else who was quite a conservative, a man by the name of Alfred Kaplan. Now, you probably know him as Al Cap. You know, he created Little Abner, and he once tried to make fun of me with a strip called Fearless Fosdick. It was pretty funny. And then of course William Randolph Hearst tried to make fun of me with a strip called Secret Agent X9. But I think when Gould did this comic strip about me, I'd have to admit what they say is true. It was the beginning of the adventure strip.
Bob Kane, who created Batman with Bill Finger, said that he wanted to do it the way Gould had done it.
And so there were a lot of people that came after. Gould began to tell these stories about me, and of course, you know, I really had nothing to do with it, but I always enjoyed them, I have to confess.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you a question. I hope you'll take it in the spirit with which I pose it to you.
Well, I'll see when you ask it.
Did you always know that you wanted to be on the right side of the law? Was there ever a time in your life that you thought about going in the other direction?
Well, of course, that's not a serious question. But I think I see what you mean. But I am aware that the criminals in Chester Gould's comic strips and in the movies were very colorful and surprising, and so much so that, you know, sometimes they made the character patterned after me seem a little dull, because why? I am predictable, that's why. And isn't it the job of law enforcement to be predictable?
Mm-hmm. Now, both Ralph Byrd and Morgan Conway are no longer with us, but I've heard that Beatty is interested in making another movie about you.
Beatty? Making another movie about me? Yes, I've heard that. If he did do another movie about me, that would be something that would cause me to take off my hat. You know, to him, to Beatty. If he made another movie about me, I would take off my hat to him. Or I would tip it, at least, you know, but he might give you a better answer on that. I think you should do an interview with Mr. Beatty. I know he pretends he's not interested in self-promotion, but I'd say there's a pretty big body of evidence as to his guilt in this area.
Calling Dick Tracy. Calling Dick Tracy.
Sorry. Come in, Junior. This is Tracy.
I think you should get over here, Tracy. We need you right away. The city's in big trouble. This does not look good.
What happened to the blueberries?
They're on their way.
Good. So am I. Mr. Maltin? I want to thank you for having me. It's been a long ride. It's been many decades and a long and wonderful ride. Thank you so much. I'm just going to be on my way.
Dick Tracy. He's got a bulldog jaw. Dick Tracy. Why, he's the arm of the law. Dick Tracy. Well, he can do what they say. Get his man. He's tough enough to catch a bullet with his hand. He doesn't have to sweat to get him, you know. He gets him with his two-way radio. Dick Tracy. He's got a bulldog jaw. Dick Tracy. Why, he's the arm of the law. Dick Tracy. Well, he can prove what they say. Crime doesn't never pay. Yeah. Now his men are called retouchables. They're brave and bold. Look at them, you wouldn't think they'd catch a cold. But when Hemlock Holmes is leading them, there's just no doubt. For criminals, it's Roger Dodger over and out. Dick Tracy. He's got a bulldog jaw. Dick Tracy. Why, he's the arm of the law. Dick Tracy. Well, he can prove what they say. Crime doesn't never pay. Yeah. Gomez likes to treat them rough and mean. He arms them like a Mexicali jumping bean. He's got a friend jiu-jitsu who's just 1 foot tall. But though he's kind of short, he's really on the ball. Dick Tracy. He's got a bulldog jaw. Dick Tracy. Why, he's the arm of the law. Dick Tracy. Well, he can prove what they say.